Welcome everyone to the next edition of the Stay on Course podcast. We're going to have a very interesting episode today, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But I'd like to introduce Edith Duran. She's a digital marketing specialist who helps small business owners clarify their brand messaging and connect with their ideal customers online. She is passionate about turning marketing into empowering strategic experiences, making it approachable, effective, and even fun. Welcome, Edith, to the Stay on Course podcast.
Thank you so much, Julie, for inviting me to be a guest on your podcast. I'm really excited about this episode because it came up as a little idea that you and I had, and we're running with it. So, yay.
We sure are running with it. And even with some scheduling difficulties, we're running with it. So, everyone, today we're flipping the switch. Edith is going to be interviewing me instead of me interviewing Edith.
That's
So let's get started.
Let's get started. Again, I am really excited about this. So I am going to start with a super tough question for you because why not, right?
Why not?
Why not? Julie, what's your favorite food?
All right, I'm going to go back to my childhood. I love seafood. Seafood is my jam. Like I love lobster, I love shrimp, crab, all of it with butter and lemon. Like give me a lobster and that's like what I would have on my birthday. That would be the thing that I would want to have.
Oh, I love that. I can totally relate. Oh, I love seafood myself.
I think it's the best. It's the best food. Like I love all of it. I love the fried clams. I love the fisherman's platter. Fry me some fish. I love it. Like anything seafood is my jam.
Yeah, I got fish and chips on my mind now. So thank you for that. So, Julie, as I mentioned, this idea came up. You and I were just doing a little like brainstorming session on the fly, and you were showing me your playbook, which
Yes.
which is something you use with your clients. And I am not going to lie, my mind was blown because all of this like essential information was all in one place. And the questions that you had answers for, I was just like, wow, this is like, a Bible for business.
It
So,
is. It is. Thank you. And you know what? It's been evolving. The
uh
playbook has been evolving, and it's part of a greater work that I'm doing called Before I Lead. And it really is about leadership. And it doesn't matter if you're a small business entrepreneur or you're working in a corporate role as a leader. It's the fact that as we move into higher levels of responsibility, we need to be able to lead people. And it's really about holding the space of leadership with a
mhm.
structure for leadership. So, leadership is one of these words that people kind of are like, well, what is that? What is leadership? And, the best way I can describe it is the John Maxwell quote: a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And
Mhm.
so, in order to do that, you need to be able to hold the space of a leader and you need to be able to share the vision of a leader and you
Mhm.
need to be able to run the business in a way that consistently communicates to the people you're leading.
Mhm.
And if you're missing one of those ingredients, things fall down and
Mhm.
things get misplaced or people don't understand you. There's a lot of confusion in leadership. People are confused. If the leader doesn't really understand their role as a leader, they're not going to get the best out of their team. And one of the very first things I do, Edith, you're going to love this, is I review the job description of a CEO with the CEO.
Ooh, that can be a little intimidating.
Well, I mean, how many times have you looked at your job description, Edith?
Right. And then, there's a whole list of to-dos. in there or to accomplish. And then you're like, wait a minute, it's in the back of my mind, but I haven't actually like set forth motion to do these things. I'm like putting out fires all the time.
Yeah, and the problem is there's so many of us that are in service roles and we're providing services and we've come out of the corporate environment. We're starting small businesses and we don't have a boss anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
Right.
boss for you. So who is holding you accountable to do the things that you need to do?
Mm-hmm.
So I become a partner to the CEO. I become an accountability partner to CEOs to help them get their mindset right, their process right, and their capabilities right.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things that really stood out to me when we were talking about who you work with, you mentioned that you work with a lot of CEOs that inherited a business. You know, there was a death in the family, or whatever the case is, they go from one role to a completely different one that has all this pressure on them, and you know, and I don't know. Would you say leadership skills are something that comes naturally, or that you have to learn? Because when you're in that predicament, how
Yeah.
how do you help people like that just got thrown this responsibility?
Well, I think that like anything, leadership is learned. You
Hmm.
can learn how to lead. You can absolutely learn how to lead. Yes. Do people have flares for leadership? Or are there people more fluent at it? Maybe they were sort of born with that ability. There is a profile, personality profile that lends itself to leadership. There's certain individuals that it comes easier to, right?
Hmm.
But
Right.
it's not that you can't learn it. If you have the right tool set, and if I take you through a process of learning the role of the leader, right? The role of the CEO, I can teach you. If you are open and teachable and you have a growth mindset, I can teach you the path that you need to take in order to get the best out of yourself and in order to get the best out of your teams.
Hmm.
And in these playbooks is really the roadmap to what that looks like. I just developed over the last week, I further developed the CEO playbook. So now I broke the playbook up into 4 parts because it was so overwhelming when I showed it to people. I broke it out to the CEO playbook, the sales and marketing playbook,
Hmm.
the team operations playbook, and the financial accounting and legal playbook. So there's 4 parts now of there's 4 playbooks. And with those 4 playbooks, you can run your entire business.
That's a great move. I could see where breaking it up into those different, let's say, departments now allows you to have these sessions with those people that can might be in charge of the financial and legal and sales and the marketing. So now your team can really rally behind what you have written down on your playbook. Um, and one of the things that also like really blew my mind with your playbook is just how it's sectioned and how specific your questions really drill down into the meat of of what you're selling as a CEO, what your role is, and how your team can help, the delegating part of it.
Exactly, the delegating part of it. Because I think one of the main struggles that leaders have is the art of delegation.
Mm-hmm.
And so because they don't have a system behind them, they can't lean on the system to help them do the part that they don't want to do, which feels like a little bit like the micromanaging part.
Mm-hmm.
So who nobody wants to micromanage anything. Nobody wants to do that. But what I've learned and where I've gotten into trouble in my corporate career is not having enough data to support what I was doing. And so, yes, I was a creative. Yes, I'm a creative entrepreneur. But when I was getting up into those higher level roles, what I realized was my biggest downfall was that I might not have had enough data for some of the other folks. So
Mm,
there are different kinds of personalities that we're dealing with at work. Some people are big picture thinkers, they take in information by big picture, and others take in information by details.
mm,
And if we don't have like both, we don't have enough information. And so you're going to struggle with either or. You're going to struggle with the person that only wants to see the high level information and you're giving them too much detail. And you're going to struggle with the opposite way of that. And in order to get in front of all of this, you have both. You have the big picture and the details so that you're ready. And I'm big into being ready. So be ready for anything. Be ready for anything because you don't know when someone is going to call you into their office to ask for a review of something. Like, hey, can you just remind me who you are, what you do, and how you do it? You could get called into an office to explain that to somebody. Edith, you could get a phone call from a potential new client that wants to know what you do. But if you don't have that data, or you don't have the information ready, you're just going to kind of talk off the cuff. And that's great. You can do that. But it always feels better when you have a slide deck. It always
right.
feels better. "Well, here, let me show you something. Let me show you what I do. I'll explain it to what I'll explain what I do, but sometimes it's good to also see the visual behind it. And so I'm really big into having people be ready for that next opportunity in advance.
Hmm. What a confidence builder that is. I love that be ready for anything. And I think that that's exactly what your coaching program is about, is being ready, going from a place of like maybe some, confusion and like fear, to be ready for anything. It's like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, because in order to grow, in order to get to the next level, you have to step into the next level, right? And if you're not able to feel that level of readiness, then all these excuses are coming up. I'm not ready. I can't do this. I don't have time. I'm not good enough. I have imposter syndrome. I hate this whole imposter syndrome thing. And I'm like, let's blow it up. Let's blow up
Uh-huh.
imposter syndrome by getting ready. Let's just
Mhm.
do that because the minute I can help someone get ready, imposter syndrome disappears.
Don't you love being at that place? How many times have you been in a coaching session with one of your clients where you get to that moment where imposter syndrome blew up? Have you ever experienced that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like when I well, and where it comes up is one of my favorite things, right? It's
Hmm.
like the story you tell yourself. The story you tell yourself is the most important story you will ever tell. The minute I can come in and challenge your current story,
Mm.
so you can create a new story. So now we're creating new stories with the foundation of readiness. And that is those are the ingredients for acceleration, right? It's
Mhm.
getting ready, creating the right stories, and moving that thing forward, whatever it is.
So how does somebody start? Just is it just a matter of like calling you? Like how do I know I need Julie's help?
I feel like you know when you need my help, when you feel stuck, when
Mhm.
you feel that you are afraid to just do the thing, when you feel overwhelmed with your business and can't figure out how to move it forward, when you want to start a business and you don't know how to quite get started. And then for people who are a little bit more down the road, you know that you need me when you are like getting that more of that imposter syndrome because now you're leading a team. So if you're not ready and now you have to lead a team, then it starts to get really sticky because you need to step into the space of leadership. And so
Mm.
if you don't feel confident as a leader, if you don't feel like you have the skill set, the processes in place, and you feel like every time you walk through the door of work, you're nervous and scared and unsure, those are the times to call me. And then the other time would be that you need to accelerate and grow, but you just don't know what to do next. That would be another time to call me. So there's a lot of times that I'm going to be a help to you just because I have so much knowledge in this space. I've thought about this on a very deep level. I've created the programs. I'm the author of the Before I Lead program. I
Mhm.
created this from my own experience. I have a master's degree in business, a bachelor's degree in communications. I worked in learning and development for over like 15 years and communications at big corporations. So I've taken all of these years of experience and created a system and a program to help leaders be the best leaders they can be.
And I will say, admittedly, I'm not part of your coaching program formally, but every time I've talked to you, Julie, I walk away myself. So I can attest to that with not just inspiration, but that self confidence because you've given me like a ton of new answers that I didn't have before. And now it's like, oh, okay. I know what to do now. I know where I'm going with this one little thing. And I think even just having that energy, I know this is the case for me. I feel like having that energy of confidence and I know what to do now or I know what to do next has opened up so many new opportunities. It's like it has to work together, you know.
It does. And you are part of the program. You're part of the Before I
Well,
Lead program.
yeah.
So, like, what is the experience that you've had in that program? Because a lot of people are probably wondering, like, what, how can I get involved?
Yeah.
How has the experience been for you there?
Well, I guess what I meant, let me clarify. I'm not one of your one-on-one
Right.
people, but I'm in the Before I Lead or the course
It's
with.
Before I Lead. It's their accelerator program.
Okay. So I'm in the Before I Lead, and with the three parts that you have with Before I Sell, Before I Speak, and Before I Calendar, all three of them really work together. Before I Calendar has been like my foundation to be looking ahead at what it is that I want to sell. Where am I going to allot my time so that I can sell? And then present. So what are my presentations going to look like? So that's what I get from the Before I Speak. So now, I do feel like, okay, I can grow my team now because I feel like I have at least the next steps for growing my team. So, yeah, so I thank you. I feel like I owe you so much. And anybody listening to this, check it out. If you're still listening, you are interested in every topic that we just talked about. So
Exactly.
check out her page. The
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. We are just about out of time, Edith, but thank you so much for being a guest on the Stay. Oh, a guest host on the Stay on Course podcast.
My pleasure. It was fun.
Thank you so much.